My husband, 27 male, pays his own credit cards every month and never mine, 28 female. Background. My husband works full-time. I do not work because I'm about to give birth to our first child and our plan is for me to be a stay-at-home mother. My husband and I long ago decided that when we decide to have children that I would quit my job to raise them. I was raised by a stay-at-home parent and think this is the best way to go, and he was raised by two working parents but said that his mom did the majority of the childcare, and that the burden of the housework seemed to fall on her as well. This was ultimately my fear when deciding to have kids at all. Would the majority of the work fall on my shoulders, along with keeping a full-time job and managing the house? It seemed to be a good plan except that every single month, my husband pays all the bills from his direct deposit and pays off his credit cards in full. While we rarely use my credit card, over the course of the last year we have purchased a few larger ticket items on my credit card. My credit card has a significantly lower interest rate than his. Honestly, I think that we should be utilizing my card more anyways. He is an authorized user on the account, so he has his own card linked to it, but he never uses it, because it has a lower interest rate. But my husband said he doesn't feel like he would have as much control over the card and the finances if we used mine, even though I told him we could set up online banking to allow that. So instead, for everyday purchases we use one of his credit cards, which I am an authorized user and have my own account. Every month his cards get fully paid off anyway, so the interest rate doesn't matter unless we have some extremely large transaction, which has happened maybe 2 times in the last year. So every single month, with the exception of a handful of times, his cards get paid off fully to $0. The times that they don't, say when we have a very large expense, for example we moved and had to put some large expenses on there, the cards got paid off in 2 months instead of 1 month. Either way, they are still being paid off very quickly. Occasionally my husband will send me $100 or so to chip away at my card, but claims we can never pay it off. My credit card, on the other hand, doesn't get paid off, ever. It has not had a $0 balance since last November. We rarely use it, and have never missed a payment, so it doesn't hurt my credit, but it just sits there slowly accruing a larger balance. It currently sits at around $2,500 from the last year of expenses. I've brought this up to him many times, demanding even, that we pay my card off fully one of these months, or that he send money to my savings account instead of the one in his name. We easily put $2,000 or more worth of bills, groceries, and other expenses on each of my husband's card, plus whatever he puts in his personal savings, which he refers to as our savings but that I have no access to. Meanwhile, my personal savings account has less than $50 and my credit card balance continues to slowly grow. He also freely spends money on fast food, outings with friends, golfing, etc. Whereas because I have no money and no account access, I haven't bought clothes, books, shoes, even fast food for myself in the past year. I had to stop getting my lashes, nails, and hair done as well. The entire situation makes me feel very financially controlled and restricted, to the point where I don't ever spend money on myself, and when someone like my parents sends me money as a gift, I secretly hide it in an investment account that my husband has no access to. I know if I didn't do this I would have $0 net worth. When I have tried to talk to him about being more fair and giving me more access to our accounts, which he sometimes shows me the balances of, but I can never actually scroll through transactions or anything, he brushes it off and nothing changes. I just hate feeling trapped and considering working at least part-time to earn my own money to rebuild my own savings, but he insists that I should not work, which we technically shouldn't need based on his income. Here's how your post comes across to me. I hate being financially restricted. I don't want to be financially restricted. And yet my husband is financially restricting me and I've given up fighting him on it because he has made it clear he 100% doesn't care what I want. There are no magic words that will suddenly make him stop wanting to treat you the way he treats you. I think if you want to get out of this position he's putting you in, the only way that's going to happen is if you're willing to take that step yourself. You are trapped if you're getting a child and have no equal access to money. Fight for your rights. I am really struggle with idea of having no money access when married and kids involved. This is a bad situation for you. Time to put your foot down or leave entirely. This is financial abuse. Google it. Do you have any family who might be able to help you get out? You need to go to work after you have the baby. There are no other options. 30M. Have an issue with my girlfriend's, 28F, weight gain. I love her and want things to work. Background. This is honestly awful and I feel terrible writing about it, but I need advice. My girlfriend and I have been together 5 years coming up. I love her. I want things to work between us. We've lived together almost 4 years now. We share values, we both want a family together. She has a very supportive and big family that cares about me a lot too, that I've grown very close to. We have 2 awesome cats. We have differences as do all couples, but for a couple years now I feel like our relationship has been painted in a bad light, and it sucks the most because it's shallow. She gained weight and wasn't taking care of herself. She works out more consistently now, but still eats more than me and I'm a 200 pounds male. She has lost her jawline over the years, like fused neck sort of thing, and it's pretty much the one and only feature I find extremely unattractive in people. I'm sorry if I've offended anyone with that statement. Just personal preference. You are attractive to others, I swear. It makes me irrationally upset, which kills me. I don't want to be upset at her, she doesn't deserve it at all. I just want to be happy in our relationship. I don't know how much longer I can feel like this though, and it's heartbreaking. I have a great partner that cares about me a lot and I haven't been able to look past something as shallow as this. In the past, about 2 years ago, sadly during COVID, so I cut her as much slack as I could. I did admit that I was not attracted to her and it nearly broke her. I don't want to do that again, but I want to stress how this is making me feel and that I'm not sure I can continue like this. Again though, can't stress enough, I want this to work. I do love her. I know I'll catch flack for this post, it's the internet and that's expected, but what I would really like is just some advice. Either someone who has gone through this and has seen the other side, how to approach the situation, etc. I'm still hopeful, but again I don't want to hurt her, upset her, make her life miserable. Do I confront her about the exacts? Do I tiptoe around it? I've gone to therapy to clear my mind about this and to do self-assessment. My feelings start with me and that is the common denominator. My therapist has said nothing wrong with me wanting things, expectations, but it feels selfish. Easy answer. Break up, but I'm hoping someone can say more than that. What did she weigh when you first hot together and how tall is she? Just talk to her about it. You both have expectations with each other. You can even make it about being healthy together and taking necessary steps to do so. You sound shallow. You should break up with her so she can find someone better. Did you never both acknowledge this more than substantial weight gain and discuss it? My 31F husband, 34M, bought me the wrong jewelry for our anniversary. Update here. Original post. I know, the title makes me sound like an entitled asshole. Hear me out. My husband, 34M, and my 31F wedding anniversary was this week, but we delayed celebrating until this weekend. We do traditional gifts for anniversaries and this year is flowers, fruit. He is not great with gifts and asked for ideas last month, and I sent him a link to an Etsy shop that makes birth flower jewelry, and told him I'd like something with our son's birth flower. I also let him know he could just get me flowers or anything else and that would be fine as well. For his gift I picked up chocolate-covered strawberries, wine, because grapes, and went to a fancy cheese shop to get some fruit-infused cheeses, meat, etc. to make a really nice charcuterie spread for tonight. I'm going to create a picnic in our living room, and I think it's going to be really cute. I also got him a card and wrote a heartfelt message. Just for reference. I assumed that he had figured my gift out before our anniversary, so imagine my surprise when I opened a Prime box and found a jewelry box. I didn't open it, but it was labeled birth flower necklace, so it was obvious. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not sure if I'm being unfair and could use some perspective. 1. If he ordered the gift via Prime, that means that he didn't order it until after the actual day of our anniversary had passed. 2. The box was labeled with my birth flower, not my son's. Which is not what I wanted. 3. The box labeling looks very cheap, and looking on Amazon I think he ordered a low-quality piece. Think Chinese Amazon front, less than $20. When we were younger I would wear jewelry like this and it would always fall apart, color my skin, and/or tarnish quickly. I'm a bit upset. I spent a significant amount of consideration and money on his gift and he totally flubbed mine in a way that specifically seems very uncaring. He's going to be giving me the gift tonight, so I have about 4 hours to figure out how I'm going to respond. I don't want to ruin our plans with a fight, but I'd like to, gently, tell him I'd rather he order something I will actually wear. Or should I just thank him, not say anything, and just not wear the gift? Am I being entitled? I bought my husband a handmade tray from Etsy for our anniversary. It came the next day from Amazon. I was genuinely confused. Contacted the seller and said they use Amazon often to ship their product. I looked up the same product on Amazon and it was cheaper and they refunded me. My spouse and I have been married over 40 years. Quite a while ago, we stopped buying each other gifts. Instead we save for travel and other shared experiences. It's much less stressful, no one's feelings get hurt, and there is no resentment. I highly recommend it. You're disappointed because you all but ordered your own gift by directing him to exactly where and what, and he couldn't even follow through on that. That leads to thoughts like, if my husband can't even click a couple of links and buy me a gift, does he care about me? Does he value our relationship? Why would he get me B when I asked for S? Like, what was his thought process? That said, you have to look deeper than just this action. Is this just an area he sucks in, or is it a sign of the overall bigger issue in your relationship where you put in work and he doesn't? I wouldn't react badly right away. Sit on it, take the time to think it out. I think you're perfectly justified to be bothered by this. Some people are just bad gift givers, that's understandable, but you specifically told him what you wanted, and he managed to forget half of the info, plus even decided to be cheap. You should definitely tell him this wasn't his finest decision, especially if this is a pattern. Maybe not right then and there, to avoid ruining your anniversary, but tomorrow. Unless he's into the charcuterie stuff, doesn't sound like you put any more effort into his gift than he did into yours. Because splurging on a picnic in the living room, that only you think is cute and thoughtful, isn't any different from his choice of gift to you. 27 per meter. My girlfriend, 24, F. Sorta beats on me as a joke, but I'm not laughing anymore. Me and my girlfriend have kind of a playful relationship and we prank each other sometimes. What she's doing here isn't a prank exactly, but I guess it's similar to one. My girlfriend likes to take out her anger and stress out on me physically by slapping, punching my body, scratching me, etc. This isn't like a BDSM thing, to be clear. It's just a day-to-day thing that started as a joke. She's always laughing and acting playful while she's doing it, but it hurts a lot. I don't remember how it started, but at first it was cute. Like she told me about something annoying that happened to her at work and that she wanted to strangle her boss or whatever. I told her she could strangle me and pretend it's him, and we laughed as she playfully put me in a headlock. I think that's how it started, and that was a few months ago. I don't know when it got out of hand, but she kicks me so hard now and she really hurts me, and does it mostly every day, and usually for no reason. It's not like I did something wrong to cause her to do it. I literally have black and blue marks in many places except for my face. The disturbing thing is that I've told her to stop and I'm very obviously not laughing while she's doing it, but she just acts like it's a joke still. If I tell her to stop, she just laughs and says no, or makes a joke out of it no matter what, even when I'm almost begging her to stop. I know I've given her mixed signals earlier, but I can't say it any more clearly now. We also don't have problems communicating about other things. I decided to turn for help on Reddit because the other day I was getting ready to come home from work and I almost started crying just thinking about leaving because I know it's gonna be miserable. It's just hard to be with someone who fucks with you no matter what kind of mood you're in, even if you just had the worst day ever. Can anyone give me advice on getting her to stop? Thanks. She's abusing you. Doesn't matter what kind of signals you've given. You need to get out of this relationship. She is doing it on purpose to see how much bullshit you will allow. If you tolerate it, this will then cause her to escalate the bullshit. She's physically abusing you and laughing about it. Please leave. This is not a safe relationship for you. Violence is never okay. It's not a joke. It's abusive. You are black and blue. This is not a joke. And no, the genders do not matter here. You will be far from miserable once you're far from her. Get out of there. You need to leave and disappear. This is abuse and it's escalating.